Zorlin, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend. Can you hear
All
me?
right, I can. I
Then
think
I'm going
we
to
are.
assume everybody else can hear us too.
I hope so. Let's let's get this started.
Get the
Hello,
party
everyone.
started. We normally have
Yeah,
Hack here to start it off, but yeah, let's just wing this one.
I know. Well, I think first of all, first things first, we owe the community a little bit of an apology. We had some crossed wires between Discord and social this week, and really that's on me for some communication and some issues with sharing across different threads. And so that coupled with the fact we have a few people out traveling today, it is going to be me and Zorling carrying the torch.
I was considering singing just the two of us, but I'll spare all of you.
I mean, we could. No, it's okay. We'll go.
Uh,
I I do. We do have actually a lot of fun stuff to cover today. We have some good questions from the community, but I think first things first. Zorling, we should have drum roll a one soul winner to kick off today's AMA.
Drum roll. And while I am trying to fill time because I forgot that this is what we're going to do to kick it off, I want to just say, how about that game? How about Kingmaker Tag? I hope you guys are liking it as much as I did when I got a chance to jump in there. But seems like people are having fun. Okay,
We've definitely been having fun here in the office with it. So
indeed. I am running a script right now. It's doing its thing, and it just picked a winner. But give me one moment to find out who that is. So it gives us a unique identifier, and then it's my turn to manually tell it what. Okay, so here we go. Riley is the winner of One Soul. Has Riley been lucky in the past? I believe so. Let's see. Oh, we have some kind of a document that keeps the running total. But anyway, congratulations, Riley. You are now one soul richer. And we will be doing the same, you guys. We'll pick another one at the end of this, right? So if you didn't
we
win,
will. So we
stick
have one more at
around.
the end. We do also have contest winners to announce, and this is another thing where my sincerest apologies. We did end up cutting off submissions at around just afternoon. And again, due a little bit to this confusion. But one thing that I thought was pretty good here is we do have more rewards to give out than were called out on social. So we are giving out rewards for first through fifth place. And we actually got a really good set of submissions. There were a bunch of really fun ones in there. It was actually hard to choose. We looked at things like composition and layout and participation, and we did find some really awesome images in there. So in terms of those screenshots, do you want to maybe call out who took fifth, Zorlin?
I would love to. And in my best radio voice, in fifth place, we have Cutie Pie. Cutie Pie was floating with our crown, I think looking at some airships, if I'm not wrong. So Cutie Pie, half soul coming your way. Great job. Great picture. Actually, now I want to go back and see all these again. Do you want me to announce them all, or do you want to should we just go through it? You're good? Cypher?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, here we go.
I'll go ahead and do fourth real quick. We can alternate here.
Okay. Look, when you do it, I'm going to do drum roll, right? And now, if you guys can hear that.
All
Okay.
right. Our fourth place winner, it's a half soul winner, and that is Ponyo with the image of Faye sitting around the spawn point, all perfectly aligned.
Congratulations, Ponyo. All right, in third place, again for a half soul, Kazuya Light. Kazuya Light. That's why you gave me every other one. That one's a little tricky, but sleeping in a cave. Kazuya Light.
I actually really like that one because it almost doesn't feel like it's from the same environment. It almost feels like a Fae sleeping in their home. So
Are we able to like share pictures in this Discord AMA? Like, is there a
I
way to
don't
do like
know.
screen sharing? It would be cool to be able to show these pictures, but I'm certainly
I don't know.
not.
Well, they should be. They should actually be up on a thread in here in Discord as well. Um, but we'll make sure we post these as we post those winners in the announcements thread, and then everyone can take a look at these. Um, we do have, and so I'll go ahead and move to second place. So in second place, we have a one soul winner, and this is Xenia. And this is the image floating with their arms out, wearing the crown, looking all epic.
How did you pronounce that name? Xenia?
Xenia? I
Zen-
don't. Xenia?
Xenia's
Xenia? I don't. Yeah, good question.
Xenia or
I apologize.
Xenia?
I probably.
Congratulations. It's okay. A soul makes up for your butchering of the name.
I hope so.
Okay, and in first place, the first place winner, who is getting a brand new member of their family in their wallet, is Chopstick Boy. Chopstick Boy, congratulations. Cypher, I'm going to let you describe what they did for first place or what their picture looks like.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I laughed out loud at this one, but basically it's their Fae just sleeping at the bar in the parlor. It's pretty awesome. For me, it was the funniest one. But yeah, definitely a good capture. And that one was determined to be the winner.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to find out whatever channel it is that these pics are posted here in Discord. But congratulations to all of our winners. Again, Cutie Pie, Ponyo, Kazuya Light, Xenia, and Chopstick Boy. Congratulations. And then, of course, Riley, you were the one sole winner for our AMA giveaway. And stick around. We're going to do one more at the end.
Awesome. Gosh, next thing I think on the agenda here is to go over some of these game updates that Zorling, I think you just kind of mentioned the first one, which is the tag, which we internally we've been calling it Kingmaker tag. We didn't really give it a name necessarily inside of the game. And again, just to reiterate, we're having fun over here prototyping as we're working on some of these larger feature sets, and it just makes sense to get some of those things exposed to the community as they come online, and so we wanted to share.
And one thing we wanted everybody to know is this is a kind of prototypical state, right? We're just putting prototypes in and letting people play around with them, letting the community see what they think. So certainly not polished, but we feel fun enough to get in there, get in your hands, and hopefully get some feedback from you guys. So.
Yes, I may have just stolen the crown from someone.
as I was talking, huh?
Oh, yes, but it just lost the crown to Wings. Good job, Wings. I'm gonna head into the parlor here for a minute, but that actually for those who may have participated in some of this gameplay or have been looking at the update, Zorling is correct. These are very prototypical. I really don't even think they're indicative in any way of these major and future updates that we have in production now. But I do think it's worthwhile to share these with the community, see how they engage with them. There could be more that we could do with these little activities depending on what that uptake looks like and if people are having fun. So in addition to that, though, I thought it was worth sharing that we did actually, and I think people have noticed this as well, we increased the game timeout. It was at about 5 minutes, and we've increased that to 30 minutes. So now you can pick a location during the AMA, and you really only have to interact once during an AMA before hitting that timeout, and really with no real feature set in the game at this point that would preclude us from that. I think this is a good decision, and that way people can step away for a few minutes or context switch if they need to without getting booted.
Cypher, was that a community request, or is that something you just felt we wanted to do?
That was very much a community request. I think we did know we wanted to do that. We have a few things on our hit list, like looking at the number of players that can enter any instance of a room. The game timeouts was on that list, but I'd seen that enough in Discord to know that we should get that update in as quickly as possible.
That's awesome. Keep those suggestions flowing, you guys. Clearly, as you can see, we like to act on them as well. So great suggestions.
We've got a spreadsheet right here. Yeah, we're actually taking those, and there are a lot of good ideas in there. Some of them it's just it's a timing thing. So when do we have the resource available? And in other cases, maybe a scope thing. So just where does this fit into our production plan? But we'll be chipping away at those lists and adding new features each week. Another thing that I wanted to bring up that we did get in there, just a couple for this first update, but we did add a few new, I'm calling them props in the environment. So these are just things that maybe make it possible to get to new locations within the environment. Just fun little platforming elements, but we actually have a bunch more of those that are on the way. Again, just new ways to explore and engage with Tradersport in advance of our next environment release.
I don't know if I should even mention the name because I don't know, maybe it'll stick, but was it you, Cypher, that are calling the creatures Kickens?
You know, we were saying that internally, but then it also
are we afraid of
organically came
PETA?
out. Well, I mean, they're kickens, right?
Yeah, that's what they're meant for.
But,
I want to.
but no, this definitely. I've seen it in Discord as well, though. Lots of people making the same suggestion. I can't remember who it was, but someone came to that conclusion almost immediately after they came out.
That's awesome. I just like the name Kickens.
We definitely have been seeing the feedback about some objectives, right? Maybe placing some props in the world that could act as goals. We'll be playing with a few ideas there. We really do want to toss in fun little additions, but at the same time, we want to keep our eye on the prize, which are some of these bigger features. So we're kind of batting back and forth with those priorities, but definitely keep those ideas coming in, and we'll get some updates live over the coming weeks. So I did want to ask you, though, Zorling, did you get a chance to play tag online this week with people, with actual community members?
You know, I did, and I'm terrible at it. I thought I was really good when I was just playing all of our testers here and some of the engineers that were working on it. But you know, you get in with the crowd here, and man, I can't keep that crown for long. Clearly, I've got to practice up.
Super difficult when you have more than maybe 7 or 8 people playing.
I like it. It actually, you know, I'm an adrenaline junkie, and it actually triggers some of those dopamine hits as you're running and trying to keep people from pulling it off your head. So I'm in. I like it. I liked it even when, you know, it was really rough. I thought it was fun. Now, yeah, with all the polish that's been put on it, I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, and you know, I'd love to see for any community members that have feedback. I know I've been seeing some of that in Discord. Keep those ideas coming. You know, I could see a lot of potential here. You know, maybe the Fae who holds the crown the longest within an AMA could be getting a prize, or maybe we could start hosting little leaderboards for the activity. Just thinking out loud here, nothing set in stone, but I'd love to see what the community would like to see in terms of this feature.
I like that idea.
Speaking of features, there are actually a couple others I wanted to discuss in today's AMA. So I wanted to call out there's a new crafting mechanic that is noted in the white paper, and it's actually getting pretty far along in its development. And we are aiming to have this released here in the not so distant future. I would say weeks, not necessarily months. This mechanic will actually it'll come along with a new room, so there will be a new environment. It will contain some initial gameplay. And in talking to that, I kind of want to cover that this mechanic has play to earn benefits. So this is really aimed at early adopters and this community, those who have invested their time, even their money into these Fae to come and be a part of this community. We really want to pay that off. And so with this mechanics release, this is going to allow players the ability to collect what we're currently calling, I don't know if I want to say these names are final, but we're currently calling them power shards. And they'll be able to collect these in the environment with new shards appearing each day that can be crafted into what we're calling data shards. And this will happen at that location that we'll be opening. With the end result of being able to craft these data shards into Daisho power cores. And what does that mean? That means that the early adopters of this game, will have the ability to collect Daisho power cores in advance of Daisho release and the play to earn mechanic. This means that players that have collected these cores will have a team of Daishos on day one. They won't be required to go hunt them down and capture them, although they can. And if I have my way with this, they actually will be slightly enhanced cores. So I look at this as kind of like the early adopter having almost a little bit of a benefit in the cores that you receive that power your Daisho in advance of everyone else being able to catch them. This allows for play to earn to happen immediately once the mechanics for that launch. It also allows for potential heightened rarity in the Daisho that you collect early on. So definitely look forward to that release, and yeah, I actually cannot wait to share a little bit more, and I'm hopeful we can actually show some sneak peeks here in the not so distant future. Maybe a little peek at what that room is looking like, maybe a little, there are some previews for power shards and data shards in the white paper. Those are some early concepts that we had kicking around, and we're still, I shouldn't say we're really finalizing those so much as we're still kind of finalizing the crafting component for those. So really excited. I think that mechanic's going to be a really good opener and a really great way to bridge the gap between now and Play to Earn's release with some added benefit for players who participate.
That is awesome. I like the idea. Early adopters, you guys get a little head start on some of the Play to Earn features. That's very cool.
And also, just for those who maybe do own multiple Fae, we want to take that into consideration, and we'll be looking at how multiple Fae may be able to participate in this mechanic with basically added benefits so that each Fae can basically have its own Daisho team at release.
Beautiful.
But I think hopefully that helps answer a couple of questions that I saw in the AMA questions thread, just regarding things like new environments. This isn't the only environment in production. There are other pieces that we are excited to put out, but we're not quite ready to announce what those are yet. But again, really trying to keep the ball rolling, make sure that there's something new every week or two for the community to engage with. I think one more thing I wanted to bring up, Zorling, was the Daisho themselves. I really do think a first look at those is coming very soon. We're deep in the throes of hashing through some, I want to say the basics, but it's all of the minutia as we work through, the models, how they're constructed, how they're modifiable, and also the stats that are driving those models as well. So there's quite a bit going on in the background, but the visuals will be released here pretty soon. I would think within the next week and a half. But they're looking awesome. I'm super excited to share those as well.
They are looking awesome. That's coming from somebody that I can't draw a stick figure, but seeing some of these concepts is really, really cool. And the devil's in the details. So it takes some thought to make sure that this is moving in the right direction, and it looks like it is.
Yeah, we have a desire to do a little bit in terms of the gameplay prototyping as well, and prove out a few of these elements before we go too far. And so I think, we're just sitting between a bunch of really beautiful and good-looking decisions here. I think we've almost got it, is where I'm at. So. Trying to think of what other things here on this list that need to be covered. I do have one more update. I know I announced last week in terms of the white paper. We answered a lot of questions there. I had spoken to a white paper update that would be going live. Those edits have been made to the white paper. To be fair, this first revision is fairly minor. I'm expecting a larger revision to come here in the next probably 2 weeks. But that is just a matter of me just getting those free cycles to get that published up to the website. So definitely be looking out for that. It should be, if not today, by the end of the weekend.
Perfect. Hey, I just want to, if I can I interject for just a moment? As I'm multitasking here and pulling wallet addresses to transfer the winnings, I did want to mention that we've got the cocktail hour that has been rocking and rolling, and we call it the giveaway bot, randomly picking winners. That's been going really well. It seems to be smooth. I will be depositing these awards probably early next week. So anyone that has, did we call it the snapshot contest? Cypher, what was this contest called?
Yeah,
The
basically screen capture.
screen capture contest. So anybody that we've announced, look for your winnings early next week. And the reason for that is we have a significant portion of our team that is at GDC, having a good time there without us. But I do need to wait for one of them in particular, the one that controls the wallet, to get back before I can fire off these awards. So watch for those, and you'll see it.
Okay, so you're specifically saying for the screenshot or snapshot winners, correct?
Correct. Yep. Only the snapshot winners. The AMA hour, Riley's already got her soul, and whoever else we pick at the end of this will have theirs, as well as our cocktail hour. Those will continue as expected, but it is just the snapshots, because that comes out of a separate account.
Okay, awesome. Good to know. And let me look here. So, another thing I'm actually thinking we should talk about is we should spend a few minutes talking about these creator tokens. We're coming up on that drop date, that airdrop date here really soon.
Okay.
So, looking at this, I have on here that these would be dropping right around next Thursday, right? March 31st, just at the end of the quarter. Is that what you've got?
That's what I have. Yeah, that's the plan. These creator tokens will be dropping. Now, one thing that's good to discuss, as you brought up the topic, is when do we take a snapshot of people's wallets? So let me describe this. Anyone that has a Fey in a wallet right now will be given a creator token. The blockchain needs to be queried to say who owns a Fey right now. Now, the time between the snapshot and when those tokens are actually dropped, let's say it's an hour, let's say it's 2 hours. If you were to sell your Fey between that time, you would be the one that would get that creator token. I shouldn't even tell you guys this. There could be some nefarious actions here, but we're going to try to keep that window really, really short. But just know that if when we do take that snapshot, that's going to be who gets the creator tokens. So be aware of that. Be conscious of that. And like I said, we're going to try to create a really short window of when we have the snapshot, when we take it, and when it deposits to your wallets. But the token sure looks cool. I'm not sure which artist put it together, but I love it.
Yes. Oh, and to talk about that a little bit too, and you'll see this when it's dropped to your wallet. These tokens are avatar specific, and so what that means is that if you own a Fey and you receive a token, that token is in fact a creator token for the imp avatar specifically. Now, obviously, that would be the case today, but as we move forward with new mints of new avatars down the road, those avatars will come with completely separate creator tokens that create a different secondary avatar. The idea here being that we can have a whole series of tokens moving down the line, and that also these keep even the secondary avatars somewhat scarce in a sense. And so we thought that was kind of a cool way to go about it. It allows us to actually deliver tokens based on avatar type if we do more drops in the future, and just a little bit more freedom there. But that's one important detail about them. I think another important detail is that we're talking about these releasing before our next AMA next week. And so, yeah, based on what you were saying, Zorling, I think the community should look forward to some updates that'll happen on Discord and Twitter that will match. They will be in sync about that drop, though. So I think that's coming here soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
So, well, and when we look at this schedule, those launch next week. Give or take a couple days, about 2 weeks after that is when we want to, or we intend to, launch the generator. And this is the tool.
Dangerous giving commitments. So just so you guys know, it's kind of on my side of the world as far as how we're pulling this tech off to make it happen. But Cypher just said 2 weeks. Man, I'm going to be sleeping here tonight.
Gosh, well, I'm kind of going off the white paper here, Zorling, just a little bit. But for real, I mean, we don't know, we don't know what we don't know if we do hit a roadblock there, but I'd say, it's safe to say somewhere mid-April is our target.
That is our target. Be flexible with this, because we are solving puzzles that I have never solved before. I think we've got some good direction. We've actually made some good progress already, and it's been really exciting to see what the team's been able to do. But some things that sound easy end up being really, really difficult, and some things that sound difficult end up being really, really easy. So it's really hard to forecast exactly when you're going to have the right experience in place. But we're getting there, and we're working hard. So rest assured, we are working hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit more on the front end of this, so I'm looking, on a daily basis at this generator tool, which is looking awesome. Basically working through all of the attributes and basically the freedom that we'll be giving to the community in terms of generating these new AMP avatars, which does bring me to one of the questions I saw in the AMA thread. I guess I could reference who asked that question, but do I know who asked that question? Let me just check here really quick. Oh, I actually think it was Indigo. And I think I saw also in the AMA thread others kind of confirming that they also held the same question, which is, does the imp character have the ability to be created as an NFT with wings? We had many a meeting surrounding this, and we discussed it at length, and we have actually come to the conclusion that the imp avatar will not have wings. Now, I know that might be upsetting to those who have Fae without wings, but please rest assured there is a parallel track here where we are working on a plan for Fae without wings to actually be able to glide. So we are looking at, without altering the NFT, so we are looking at ways to allow all of these Genesis Fae owners a similar benefit over time. It will behave ever so slightly differently in practice and how we, based on this implementation. But really, these secondary imp characters, we don't really want them to have all of the capability of the Genesis Fae. And so it is confirmed that they will be coming without wings as an option. Now, I do think, just jumping over to this, Zorling, I think, there's a whole series of questions I think we could jump into.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, I might just start here from the top of the list. There are a few I think I can tackle here really quickly. One of the questions by Sick Legacy was, will Fae owners have access to plots, or is it auction only, so there will be whales dominance? I think Cinder Spire covered a little bit of this last week, but Fae owners absolutely will have an opportunity to purchase plots. I think that's one of the missteps in the white paper, is using the term auction, and so that's one of the pieces I'm making sure is updated in there. We don't believe these will fully be auction style. We believe that we will be giving kind of a first look, or at least an open look to Fey owners to ensure that those who are actively participating in this community and are a part of this game have a chance or an opportunity at purchasing land. I am going out on a little bit of a limb here, but when we talk about things like scarcity, Spire had definitely spoken to the fact that we don't want this to be super scarce within the world. We don't really want to have, 100 plots of land that all sell for exorbitant amounts of money. But there is a chance that we'll have premium plots. There is a chance that there will be different levels or breakdowns for how these plots are laid out. But really, I think more information on this will be coming in future AMAs. So we'll probably hold on that one for just a little bit longer, but definitely take confidence in the fact that Genesis Fey owners will have an opportunity to be able to acquire land when the time is right. We have another one here. I'll just knock a couple of these out. So Egg Cement asks, can you please provide some clarity on the battle system and how the elements affect each other? The chart in the white paper is formatted strangely and doesn't make sense or much sense. And yes, gosh, that's more like a back-end designer chart of how we would look at these characters and basically their elemental effects against each other. And so we can start to work out a graph or a chart for what tops what, and this all breaks all the way down to things like hit points and buffs and special attacks. There's quite a bit going on in the back end. But really, that chart in the white paper is showing the effectiveness of the attacker versus the defender based on which element they are crafted from. And so these are in the process of still being refined. This is a lot of the detail work that's happening in the design world right now, which is it's really stat driven, a lot of numbers, working on spreadsheets to get these things figured out. I can confirm that we do right now have turn-based combat. And what we are working with right now is bringing in 3 Daisho into a battle, but only fighting 1 Daisho at a time. So basically moving squad members in and out of the fight. And so we are toying with that right now to see how well this flow works. We'll be playing a lot with these stats and modifiers to make sure that that feels good, but just a lot of what I would call prototyping going on, which should lend itself to kind of an early access beta or some way to expose these gameplay elements to the community in advance of their full release. So we definitely want input from the community on these as we get a little bit further down the road. We have another one. We have a question from Penniless Imp 749, and this is.
Hold on. This penniless imp. I know penniless imp is not penniless because I was just going through our awards and our cocktail hours, the recipients of that. Penniless imp is not penniless. I'm just throwing it out there.
So what you're saying is they've won more than once.
They have won more than once. Now they deserve it because some of them are, some of the contests and so on and so forth. But yeah, they've penniless has done well.
Ooh, good job, Penniless. I feel like I've been in the game with Penniless. I know I was playing tag with Stormy a little while ago. But let's see what Penniless had to say though. So will the Daisho be able to wander around on the player-owned land? My creative answer to that is yes. Yes, they would be able to. And this is me sort of looking at it more like a Daisho ranch or property where you can store additional Daisho. But yeah, that would definitely be my goal. It's a little bit early, and we've kind of spoken to this in terms of property and land. We're really early on in those phases and haven't really taken some of the steps that would help us kind of lock down these answers. But as a cursory answer, I want to say that yes, I think that is important and would be awesome. So that's on my radar, and more information on that to come as well as we get more land ownership details ironed out. Another one from Penniless: will you be able to interact with your pet it, or sorry, with your Daisho? Will you be able to pet it, etc.? Is it kind of like a Tamagotchi? That is a really interesting idea. We definitely expect that you'll be able to interact to some degree with your Daisho. Obviously, you'll be modifying, building them, adjusting things or parts for stats and things along those lines. So I think that is in the realm of possibility, but I think it's too early for me to answer that with any confidence. But I definitely love the idea, and I am now thinking a little bit of my childhood and yeah, having a Tamagotchi on a keychain. Wow, opinion list, we got a lot from you today. So we have one more that says, also, can we have one dice show that can follow us around in game, like a cosmetic pet that we can swap out on the fly, like switching our Fae? I think that's a great idea as well.
I like that
This,
idea.
so this one is when I would end up in a meeting, I believe, with you, Zorling, to discuss, to just talk about things like, environment profiling, um, performance, and this could, these are the types of things that come into play when we look at the max number of players that can be in a room. So there's definitely some meetings surrounding all of this that will be coming online here shortly. But I, again, think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it could be fun.
Uh,
I'd like them to interact like kind of organically. So if one dice show, is this particular type and a phase walking by another one, almost like cats and dogs, right? Where they try to bark and fight each other. That could be cool too.
Ooh, like they
Uh,
dice show that or have an affinity for each other or
right.
aggression
Yeah,
towards each other.
exactly. See, that's what I meant. That's why you're in the world of design. Yeah, much more articulate there.
No, no, I love it though. We'll bring you into our brainstorms. Um, so there's another one from Itch, and it just starts with piggybacking off of this. Why were alternative names and elements picked for the elements of the battle system? I've seen some confusion as to what things actually represent because of names folks aren't familiar with, and that's a great one. So obviously we went with a lot of we went with a more environmental themes. We talk about things like different types of power, whether that's wind power, hydropower, magnetic or electromagnetic power, geothermal power. Uh, I think as we kind of go down that list and as we get a little bit further into development, that'll become very clear. So part of that I think is from some of those early looks at icons that are actually not final, the ones that are in the white paper that represent these. We're still working through that process, refining our visual language for those, as well as how those appear and are interspersed throughout these gameplay features and these dice show. And so I think in the case of this, I'd say give us just a little bit more time, and I think they'll make quite a bit more sense. I'm learning really quite a bit about how much more explanation or better explanation I could be giving in our white paper updates, so I can clarify these. I sometimes forget that I'm in meetings about this every day, and others are just looking in for the first time. So I'll knock a couple more out here real quick. So Wordercat, will Tradersport continue to get changes for the sake of exploring, i.e. adding collision to props so they can be climbed on or removing invisible walls? Yes. I actually want to call out that my most hated thing is invisible walls. I actually can't stand them. I think we can do better than that, and we're working right now to not just add new props to the environment, but clean up some of the other areas. Again, we want to make sure that the one room that we have in there right now outside of the parlor is fun, and we know that this game is not necessarily a platforming game, but we definitely want to build out locations that are fun to get to, and especially if people are in there playing tag.
I can attest to this. I have heard Cypher talk about invisible walls for a couple weeks now, and he does hate them. It's
Oh,
true.
there's one in there that drives me bonkers. I'm like half tempted to go and stand on it right now, but I won't. Let me look through here. Okay, let's see. So Wordercat has another question that is also in the last AMA, Cypher said that the Cinder team was partnering with the team with tokenomics experience to develop Ash and Ember. Is that partnership ready to be announced yet? Unfortunately, it is not. And in fact, without Cinder Spire here, I don't really know that there's any announcement that I can give in regards to any of this. But I do expect, Zorling, do you know, I expect he'll be back for next week.
Yes, he will.
Yes. So I think, at that point we'll let him field this one, and if there's more that can be shared, he'll definitely communicate that out. So Dawn asked the question of how long will it be before other maps are opened? So as we were talking about the power core crafting, there will be a new room associated with that, but there are other maps that are basically in a position where they could be shared here soon. We're working on and orchestrating kind of how we want to do that. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a matter of weeks for the next room, and shortly thereafter, gosh, I don't even think it'll be that far after, maybe just a couple more weeks before the next and actually somewhat larger environment is released uh, for the community to explore and interact with. And in fact, also using that as a bit of an enhancement to the power core crafting mechanic. So keep a lookout. Should start seeing these updates here in a few weeks. And then this next one from Wordercraft, I think, Zorling, this might be a good one for you to field.
Okay, let's see. I've got to go to the right tab for these. Water cat. Worder cat. Okay. I've seen other projects in the metaverse space that give NFT holders the ability to download rigged 3D models of their avatars for use on places like VR chat, giving NFTs usability in other spaces and letting holders effectively advertise the product. Yeah, in fact, this is something that we have been working on from the beginning. It wasn't the top of our priority list, which is why we don't have it right now. But we have had parallel efforts working on being able to export some models. Now, I'm not sure. I'd like to learn about the rigged 3D models, what kind of format. So, WorderCat, if you could, I don't know how we get a feedback loop going, but maybe if you can find a place to post and let me know what kind of file format they typically offer. We've been looking at the GLTF format, and GLB is the binary representation of that. And part of our goals are not only to allow you to have that, it sounds cool to be able to plug them into something like VR chat, but we also want to be able to provide a profile page that you could send to anybody or link to, and they could actually see your Fae and rotate it, and I guess maybe interact with it to a degree without being in the Cinder client itself. So I absolutely think this is a worthy effort and something that we're working towards.
Cool.
And you know what?
I'm
There's
actually
another one I
looking at
can
Word.
answer. Yeah, I was just going to say I can answer the next one. Will
I
the
really like
wallet?
this one.
Okay, this is, will the wallets that hold the phase that are reserved for giveaways get creator tokens? And if so, how will they be redistributed? Will they be given away with the Fae in future contests or given away on their own? That is a fantastic question, and they will. So I can answer part of this completely, which is the wallet that has our phase that are reserved for giveaways. We call it our giveaway wallet. It will, in fact, receive the creator tokens as well. So we will have a 1-to-1 ratio of Fae to creator tokens. Now, how will they be distributed? I am not certain, but I could say confidently that, yeah, we may send them out with the phase as future giveaways. That could be a possibility, or we might give them away on their own. So those are the two. Those are the two. I guess those are the only two, but those are the two that I could see happening. And great question. Okay, I think the next one's for you, though.
All right, all right. So we have one from, let's see, this one's from Yake, and it says the tag and chickens are cool, but I want to fish. And don't we all? I actually think that makes sense. We're right there on the water. Um, Believe it or not, I'll be the first to say that conversation has happened here actually already. Um, we definitely want to keep the small scale prototypes coming, and so we are going to make sure that we at least have some actionable and hopefully they'll get more meaningful over time as we put these updates in. We want to get some of those in for people to test. And we do have a lot of our resources working on this core play to earn loop, but I really want to stress that fishing is not out of the question. So I would encourage anyone who has gameplay modes, features, even mini game ideas, to be sure to post those in Discord because we're looking, and those things come up in our design brainstorms and our scheduling meetings. So definitely a possibility. And
Uh,
then the next
uh,
one is, I think that's you.
yeah, I can tackle this one. Well, I'm sorry, it's not gonna be a great answer, but NBD Filthy asked, will there be a limited circulation of ash and ember, or is it inflationary where an unlimited supply can be made based on how much players are utilizing P to E features? So great question, and that is a question for somebody above my pay grade. The truth is, we are partnering, and we haven't disclosed with who, but this partner has tokenomics figured out, and they know everything and anything there is to know about this particular space. And you know what? We're gonna lean on them. We're gonna take advantage of what they know, and come to reality with what we don't know. And I think they're going to help us drive the right decision here. So I know that wasn't an answer, but I hope it was a portion of the answer. And in my opinion, it's the right answer.
No, I think that's pretty much all we can share for now. But I can address the second half of this question though. NBD Filthy did also ask, it is worth noting that certain Daisho, power cores, and parts will be extremely scarce with limited supply available in either the Cinder marketplace or through Cinder gameplay and events. And then the question is, will there be an opportunity for each Genesis holder to get a Daisho? How scarce are we talking? And it would suck for play to earn to release and not be able to get one. And that's totally true. We don't want that to be the case. And so that is why this Power Core crafting feature is coming online. And it really does give early adopters access to Daisho in advance of the play to earn release, meaning you'll have a head start, a team of Daisho, and you can battle on day one. So, please keep checking back and participating in the community. And as these features launch, there will be benefit for early holders. Let's see here. We have another one. I'll just keep cranking through these. There are so many this week. We have one from Pinkberry, and it said, will you also give us other mini games? I know for sure that you have more in your mini game chest. I would personally love a classic match 3 game. And I put noted and yes as my response here. I really do feel like that's important, and I feel like as we get through these prototypes, I think we're going to slowly push slightly more polished experiences as we move down the line. But at the beginning here, really, it is going to be about some of these mechanics, about how we navigate, how we collect, how we play. Yeah, that's definitely on the radar. And so I think you'll start seeing these types of ideas get a little bit more traction as we get further along with the central and kind of core feature sets. So more on that soon as well. I do see one more from Indigo with the second gen phase and imps. Oh yeah, that's the one we already added. I answered. That was the closure question about will they have wings. Let's see. I think that covers a really good chunk of them. And I feel bad, gosh, without a hack here, I know I'm probably not as exciting to listen to for 40 minutes, but
Hey, I think you've done well. I mean, I've kind of gone quiet as I've been working on other things, but we have almost filled an hour, and that surprises me. So I appreciate everyone that's stuck around. Actually, it's not because you're exciting, Cypher. It's because they know somebody's getting a soul in a couple minutes here.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Um, well, speaking of that, should we pick our second soul winner for the day?
Shall we do it? I say we do. Let's go to the computer here. All right. You know what? We have a lot more online right this second than we did in the beginning. So randomly selecting. I guess I have to make sure it's not. You know what? Isn't that funny? I was going to say I need to make sure it's not somebody that we know or is part of the company, because this particular tool that is looking online, it's grabbing everybody that's online It doesn't have what do we call it? An approval list. And so it can pick anybody. And Cypher, clearly you're online because you would have just won, but I'm taking it from you.
Ah.
I apologize. I apologize. Okay.
That's okay. I feel lucky. So
That's right. The person that wins Cinder Cypher's one soul is Stormy. Stormy, congratulations. You are one soul richer. I should say one soul in 1 minute richer. Is Stormy on the actual AMA with us? I can't see a Stormy.
yeah,
Oh, do you
I
see?
see Stormy right here in the room.
I see a storm cloud on the AMA. Anyway, congratulations, Stormy.
That's awesome. That's crazy too, because that's who I was playing tag with earlier. Um, I'm running around here in the parlor too, Zorlig, and I thought I should bring up one more thing. We have these open coming soon canvases on the wall, and this is just a strange week. We have people out traveling, we had some scheduling conflicts, and actually those who I would have worked with to get these contest winners up on the wall are also out on vacation. And so that did not happen today, but working hard to get the parlor feeling alive with these contests and getting those posts in there. You may have even noticed that, the billboard outside now just has the crown on it to denote the new tag activity that we tossed in. I think those are kind of a precursor for what's to come. Really working on bringing some life to the game and to the environments and making sure that we can see our contest winners in here, we can see our updates in the game. So starting to bridge that gap just a little bit. So I think we'll see some pretty cool improvements there in the next week or two as we continue to refine. But with that, I feel like we might have covered everything. I might run outside and go see who has the crown.
Oh, I thought you were saying like at first legitimately run outside. It's a blue day here
Yes,
at
it
our
is.
corporate office, and that sun is shining down on this Friday. I think I actually might want to get out and take a walk around our building.
Oh, someone just took the crown. Riley, Riley, where's Riley? Um, well, yeah, I think we've covered just about everything that we had hoped to cover this week. We should have Spire back on next week along with Hack Attack, so it won't be quite as much of my monotony. But super excited to bring these updates to the community, and super excited to get some of these new updates live and in game. And I think within the next week or so, be on the lookout for some new updates to the Traders Port. Again, just new ways to explore, travel, and new activities are on the way.
Awesome. Cypher, thank you. Thanks for going through that list of questions, and thanks all of you that have attended. We appreciate you guys being here, and it's fun to be able to share our progress. As I mentioned, we're working hard and trying to get things that you guys will really enjoy into Cinder. So, thanks again. And with that, I bid you
Awesome.
all adieu on this Friday. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.